Welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a reading vlog of me rereading the Infernal Devices series. This is Cassandra Clare's, I want to say, maybe second series that she wrote. So her original series, which I think may still be her most popular, is the City of Bones series. I don't know what the actual series is called, but the first book is City of Bones. This is my favorite so far. I've only read 2 of her series. I have her other ones, but this is my favorite so far. I love this series. I love the time period it's taken place in. It's kind of like Regency Victorian. I don't know exactly. It's 1878, I think. It's been about 3 years since I last read it. This was a series that I read when I was starting back into reading. I wasn't annotating books back then, but now I do annotate books, and this is one of the series I've been meaning to annotate. There's just so many quotes and scenes in this book that break your heart. The character development and the relationships in this book are just so good. I love the series. I'm not going to be annotating it completely like how I did with Magnolia Parks. I'm only going to be highlighting. I'm not going to be writing in it. I feel like it takes a really long time and I just kind of want to read it. Okay, I haven't been really filming myself reading because I've been reading a lot in bed at night before I go to sleep, and I don't want to film that. I think I'm about 270, so around halfway through the book, and I still love it. It's still so entertaining to read, and I love the characters. Okay, maybe I don't love Tessa at the moment, but whatever. There's not that many updates to give because the first book is kind of more character building and world building, so there's not that much I can talk about, but I just love how like simple everything is. It's simple, yet there's so much information, and it's still so fun to read. Even though I know what's gonna happen, it's like I'm still really enjoying it. I'm really happy that I started this reread, even though there are plenty of other books that I can be reading at the moment. Okay, just a quick sidebar, but look at how beautiful these flowers are. Oh my god. Philip got them for me as a anniversary present, and I just think they're so pretty. I feel like this video is about to be so freaking weird because this is the first time I've ever done a reading vlog, so I just don't know how to I don't know how to structure this video because obviously I'm not reacting to it for the first time, but I also want to get content for you guys. Right now I'm on page 425. I'm 50 pages away from finishing the first book in the series. Still freaking love this book. I'm not going to go into a review or my thoughts just yet. I'm going to just do that at the end when I finish the entire book, but I wanted to do this clip to read some of the quotes for you guys. I want to give you guys more content and context rather than just me sitting here like, oh, I really enjoy this book, oh, I really love this story, and not give you any reason to pick up the book. So I'm gonna read you some of my favorite quotes. I've been annotating. Like I said, I've been doing like brief annotations. Obviously, I'm not gonna read any that are gonna spoil anything. This is Tessa, our main character, meeting one of the other characters for the first time. I think it's really showcases his personality. The yell was undeniably a masculine one. So was the flood of cursing that followed. He had the most beautiful face she had ever seen, tangled black hair and eyes like blue glass. Dear me, massive blood loss. Death could be imminent. This is to the girlies that have read this series, but in the beginning, where Tessa goes, "My books!" and then he goes, "I'll get you more books." Anyways, beauty fades, but cooking is eternal. Period. Okay, train. This one's a good one. Dear me, such hard truth so early in the morning cannot be good for digestion. Nevertheless, Will, that money you won was evidence. You should have given it to the clave. I spent it on gin. This conversation lives rent-free in my brain. I always think back on this when I think of this series. If your point is that there was a pretty girl in the room and it was distracting you, then I think I've taken your point handedly. You think she's pretty? Yes, and you do too. I hadn't noticed really. Yes, you have, and I've noticed you noticing. It hardly seems worth living a long time if you're going to look like that. The corner of Jem's mouth twitched. I suppose it depends on what you're living for. Will Herringdale needs to learn to take his medicine like a man. You're not as pretty to look at as Tessa is. Okay, those are all I can read to you so far throughout the book without spoiling anything, but I have so many more. Like, I have so many more, and I hope that gives you a little more context of how these characters are, but I love them. They're so, they feel like home, you know? Like, have you ever reread a book and you're just like, wow, I didn't realize that this was just what home felt like? These characters feel like home. You know, even during this reread and knowing everything that I know, this one character still irks me to the bone. Like, I can understand why they are the way they are and like standing your ground for what you want in your life. I can understand that. But, ooh, are they annoying? Okay, I'm gonna read you this part because it makes... this is just like a fraction of the feelings that you feel while reading this book. You love every character so much. And I'm saying you, but I mean me. Because I love every... like... this is one of many examples of them loving each other platonically, romantically, like whatever you see. When I first came here, I was 12 years old. It most decidedly did not feel like home to me then. I only saw how London was not like Shanghai, and I was homesick. So Will went down to a shop in the East End and bought me this. He drew out the chain that hung around his neck, and Tessa saw that the flash of green she'd noticed before was a green stone pendant in the shape of a closed hand. I think he liked it because it reminded him of a fist. But it was jade, and he knew jade came from China, so he brought it back to me, and I hung it on a chain to wear it. I still wear it. I feel like that's so, like, little to you guys. I don't know, like... oh. I've said it so many times in a lot of different videos that found family is one of my favorite tropes, and a good way to get me to really feel and love a book is if there's good found family in it. This series is one of the best, if not the best, relationship-wise between the three characters I've ever. Because in most books, you just know who you're rooting for, but in this series, you're like, I just love them. I just want all of them to be happy. Like, they all deserve to be happy. Like, all I can think about reading this is the epilogue of the last book. If you guys have read it, you know. You know. If you know, you know. I don't know why I'm putting myself through this again. Oh my god. But I love them, and I'm really enjoying this. Oh. I look like an egg. Anyways, just finished the first book in the Infernal Devices series, and it is everything I remembered it to be. Beautiful, engaging, entertaining, funny. Just, I love this series, if you couldn't tell already. I still really enjoyed this in my second read. I don't know why it took me so long, because I did plan on rereading this to annotate it literally right after I finished the series the first time. So I don't know why it took me a couple years, but here we are. Quick review. If you guys don't know what this story is about, it's this girl named Tessa. She's American, and one day she gets a letter from her brother who is working abroad in London saying that because her aunt just passed away, he wants her to come to London and live with him. So she goes, drops everything in America, and she ends up getting kidnapped. She finds out that she has certain powers, and then she gets rescued by the shadow hunters. And by the way, this isn't spoiling anything because it's on the back of the book. I'm just telling you a brief summary. They are trying to figure out what is going on. Like, where is her brother? Why did she get kidnapped? And why does she have powers the way she does? In my opinion, there is something going on every single page, and I didn't get bored. I feel like each page had a purpose for the character or the plot. Even though this book is almost 500 pages, I just think Cassandra Clare used her words and pages well. As for the story, obviously, you guys already know that I love this book. I'm not gonna rate it again because it's a reread, and you know that this whole series is a 5-star series for me. I highly recommend, obviously, to read this. I'm really excited to get into the second one. I just know that that one's gonna hurt me a lot, but I'm also gonna laugh a lot, so I'm looking forward to it. I will say, the one thing that's a little bit different this time around is that I'm seeing Jem in a different light. Like, obviously, the first read, I loved both characters. Like, I loved Will and I loved Jem. And their friendship with one another is just beyond this world, you know? Like, they are so loyal and will die for each other, and they would do anything for each other, and it's so beautiful to read about. But this time around, it was a little different because of Tessa and Jem's relationship. This is one of those stories where I love the love triangle because you can't pick between the two guys. But I will be honest and say the first read, I focused more on Will because he's the typical character that I gravitate towards. Like, he's witty, he's funny, he's sarcastic. He's kind of one of those like moody boys where you know something's going on in his background, but like you don't know why, and sometimes mean to people. Like, he is the standard book boy, you know? And then there's Jem. Jem is so sweet. He is soft-spoken and he's an angel. This time around, this second read, I really saw Jem for who he is, because I wasn't so blinded with the with the Will, I love Will, Will is so funny kind of glasses. Every dialogue Jem had, I'm like, wow, you are just so good. You are just such a good person. And he's so sweet. He's just so perfect. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my second read. Clearly. But I'm excited to get into the second one, so I will catch you guys whenever I start reading the second one. Reparations, said Jim, very suddenly setting down the pen he was holding. Will looked at him in puzzlement. Is this a game where we just blurt out whatever word comes next to mine? In that case, mine's genophobia. It means an unreasonable fear of knees. I didn't even know that was a thing. Aloysius always had a weakness for a pretty face. Even more reason why I should go, said Will. Patriotic? I'll tell you what's patriotic. In honor of my birthplace, I've the dragon of Wales tattooed on my... And then he got interrupted. You're in a charming temper, aren't you, William? I promise to charm the dickens out of him. I shall charm him with such force that when I am done, he will be left lying limply on the ground trying to remember his own name. And then Jem replies, the man's 89. He may well have that problem already. And Tessa goes, I suppose you're storing up all that charm now? Wouldn't want to waste it on any of us, huh? I spoke, said Will, of the pitch-black inner depths of their souls. Tessa snorted. And what color do you suppose the inner depths of your soul are, Will Herringdale? Mauve. Okay, I don't exactly remember how many days it's been since I gave you guys my last update, but as you can see, I started the second book in the series, and I'm currently on page 208, chapter 10. There's not much to go through because obviously, like, I'm trying to make this a spoiler-free reading vlog, but let me just tell you. The pain is starting. The pain you don't really feel in the first book. You kind of just get to know the characters, understand the plot and the world. The second one, the second book here, is when the pain starts, because you learn more about Will and you get to spend more time with Jem, and you kind of see the relationship of the three, Tessa, Jem, and Will, their bond and their friendships starting to grow more. And I love how much Jem and Will love each other. Like, even if you take away Tessa from the equation, I love Will and Jem's relationship. I'm really excited to get further into this. Actually, I lied. Am I excited? I'm excited to be in this world again and be with these characters, but I am not excited for what's to come. Don't remember the last quote I read to you guys, but I have a few more. When she didn't smile, he added fiercely, I would never let anyone touch a hair on your head. You know that, don't you, Tess? Your ring, she started up suddenly as she remembered that she was still wearing it. I had meant to give it back to you earlier. That's all right, he said in a low voice. I like the way it looks on you. Redacted is your peripaty. I've seen you with him. You love him, don't you? Redacted is my great sin. The friendship, I swear to God, the friendship is almost, if not better, than the relationship, like the romance. James, he said. Ordinarily, only Will calls me that. I'm sorry. No, don't be. I like the sound of it on your lips. Ah! I have always thought if I had nothing else, I had Will. I knew it was you. You always smell of lavender. You hurt everyone whose life you touch. Not you. I hurt everyone but you. I never meant to hurt you. You can't never forgive me. I be alone? He lowered his hands, but he was smiling now. I would always have forgiven you. I would have forgiven you even if you hadn't apologized. I wasn't expecting you would. I would die for you. You know that. I would die without you. I have failed my family before. I would not fail you. I am sure she is as dull and stupid now as she was then. Please! Why is that so funny? Anytime I get to this scene, oh my god, it like makes me sick that I have to put down the book, take a little breather before I pick it back up. Even happy moments are so bittersweet. Dread. I just feel so much dread in my heart. You don't even like poetry. No, but you make me want to write it. Does that not count for anything? I can't take this anymore. I can't. When Tessa looked over at him, he smiled. Just at her. You should see the way he looks at you when he doesn't think you see, or looks up when a door opens and is always disappointed when it isn't you. It's so cute. It's so cute. Alright, I'm on page 402. I'm in the middle of a chapter, but I need to take a break because I've read over 200 pages today and things are getting not overwhelming, but I know what's coming. And I think I need a little break before I throw myself back into... My heart is like pounding. Okay, that's a little dramatic. It's not pounding, but I'm like getting anxious for what's coming. For those of you that have read the series, you might think I'm being really overly dramatic or like understand what I'm feeling, but you have to understand and give me the benefit of the doubt that these are some of my favorite characters that I hold so dearly to my heart. So they're such real people to me that these feelings, oh my God, they're real feelings, and I know they're fictional people and they're not real. These are not real people, Lucy, and I need to keep telling myself that. Pause. One of my favorite quotes is about to be dropped. Just for that, it deserves a different color tab. Skip to the timestamp up here because I'm about to say a quote that might spoil the show. That might spoil the series. So please skip to this right here. You speak of sacrifice, but it is not my sacrifice I offer. It is yours I ask of you. I can offer you my life, but it is a short life. I can offer you my heart, though I have no idea how many more beats it shall sustain. But I love you enough to hope that you will not care that I am being selfish in trying to make the rest of my life, whatever its length, happy by spending it with you. I want to be married to you, Tessa. I want it more than I have ever wanted anything else in my life. That is, if you love me too. I have finished Clockwork Prince, the second book in the Infernal Devices series. I think what makes books really good is when it brings out true, real emotions. That's exactly what happens when I read this series. I said it earlier while reading, but these characters feel so real to me that I feel such real feelings for them. I hurt for them and I'm happy for them. It's a little too much sometimes, because you're like, these are fictional characters, why are you feeling this way? But I can't help it, I just love them so much. I had to keep myself from crying. I knew that if I let my tears flow, it would not have stopped. I have one quote that I want to read out for the last hurrah for the second book of this series. I was born into this world to love you, and I will love you in the next life and the one after that. If I've scared you off of this series, please do not be scared. If you refuse to read anything that doesn't have a happy ending, don't get scared. I believe that this has a happy ending. It's just very different. It's all, what's that saying? The eye of the beholder. But he would always side with Will, kindly but firmly. He put Will above everything else in the world. Will, why didn't you say so? The books on Redacted are in the library. I wasn't preventing anyone from reading them. I love a sassy man. I am not a certified idiot. Lack of certification hardly proves intelligence. I'm gonna start using that. Just because you're not a certified idiot does not mean you are intelligent. You don't think I can fight because I'm a girl. I don't think you can fight because you're wearing a dress. For what it's worth, I don't think Will could fight in that dress either. Perhaps not, but I would be radiant. You screamed? Is that all you did? I love his sarcasm. You make me laugh. Oh, all right, he said. How's this? He starts to sing a song. Jem bursts out laughing. Well, that was awful. It was impromptu. Don't you even care where I'm going? What if I were going to hell? I've always wanted to see hell. Doesn't everyone? Most of us spend our time struggling to stay out of it. I can't wear this. It's too pretty for a man. So are you. The consul? Breaking up our breakfast time? Whatever next? The Inquisitor over for tea? Picnics with the Silent Brothers? Duck pies in the park, said Jem under his breath, and he and Will smiled at each other. Gibberish? Jem suggested. Pornographic? Said Will at the same time. Could be both, said Will. Haven't you ever heard of pornographic gibberish before? Jem grinned. I made the mistake of going on TikTok and looking at TikToks about the Infernal Devices series. This is like me calming down after literally sobbing my eyes out from edits on TikTok. And I haven't even read half of book 3 yet. I'm so unwell. Do you remember the time Meliorn tried to knock your teeth out for calling him a pointy-eared layabout? Will smiled. Despite everything, he couldn't help it. It had been the one thing in the past few years that had made him feel fortunate. That he had someone in his life who knew him, knew what he was thinking before he said it out loud. I would have knocked his teeth out in return, he said. But when I went to find him again, he had immigrated to America, to avoid my wrath, no doubt. Okay, I'm at the point in the book where things are about to take a really, really big turn. Very important. And I realized I haven't really talked to you guys about the books and like the plot. I think it's because I'm rereading the series. I forget that I'm supposed to be talking about the actual plot rather than me just experiencing this. I told you guys what the first one was about. The second one, you kind of learn more about each character while also trying to find this one enemy, while you're also just trying to figure out her heritage or her background, because it's all very murky what her background is. What she knew about her entire life was a lie. This one, things are about to go down. They know a lot more than they used to, and things are getting really close to the big battle. Time is running out, basically. I'm so sad. I've calmed down a little bit. You guys want to hear more quotes before I continue? You endure what is unbearable, and you bear it. That is all. I just got to the next pivotal, depressing part of the book. So, I'm gonna call it a night here. I do not want to start boohoo crying again, so I just, we're gonna just go to bed. We're gonna cut our losses, and we're gonna go to bed. Hi. It is currently 4:35 p.m. and I've been not putting it aside, but I've been avoiding reading. I just finished a chapter where even after this reread, I do not understand why Cassandra Clare did that. Like, why did she make her characters do that? A part of me can kind of understand. I just feel like it was kind of out of place and odd. It's just not a happy moment. It's hard to feel happy. Good news, I have not cried yet tonight. You know a book is good when you're annotating and literally look how much. Like, this is basically a whole page. Okay, so I finished the main part of the story and I'm all the way up till that blog. Do I just not read it? Do you think maybe we can just skip that part? Can we just skip that part? Right? I think I'm gonna skip it. Truthfully, I want my peace of mind more than anything else, and I know that if I read the epilogue today, I'm probably not gonna have a very good rest of my day, and it is currently still in the AM, so I'd rather not have a bad day. I'm sorry to those who wanted to see me cry my freaking eyes out even more. I wouldn't even say it's sad per se, but it's like overwhelming and bittersweet. I finished third and final book in the Infernal Devices series. I did something crazy last night while I was reading because I was just feeling a lot last night, as you do reading this series. And I was like, I have so many special edition books just randomly because of my past Fairy Loop subscriptions, but I do not have special editions of one of my favorite series of all time. No, I need something special for these because rereading these has confirmed and solidified my opinions and my love for these characters in this world. So much so that I think I'm gonna jump into the rest of the world of Cassandra Clare because I can't see myself reading anything else right now because I'm so stuck in this world. Back to the special edition rant. I was Googling, I was like, special edition Infernal Devices series. I came across a link for LitJoy and it said pre-order. I'm like, no way that I just timed this so perfectly that I'm able to order a pre-order set of special editions for this series. Like, that's crazy. Like, what is the coincidence? So I went on there and I saw that they had these beautiful, beautiful special editions for Infernal Devices for pre-order shipping in the summer of 2025. It was meant to be. it was meant to be. You get end paper art, you get other art, you get Cassandra Clare's annotation in the book. I'm so excited to read her annotations and really dive into what she was thinking when she was writing certain scenes, because like, bestie, were you just like choosing to traumatize people? Like, what it was going on here? I'm so excited, but I do have to wait like half a year. This book, 7, 8, 10,000 stars out of 5. And look, just like look at the amount of tabs I put in this book. Like, look at the first one, the second one, and the third one. The second one kind of blends into the pages, but like the first one, okay, they're tabs, cool, cool, cool. But as the series went on, the more tabs there were. But the last book, it's like, that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. That includes my reread of the Infernal Devices. If you guys were on the fence of reading this series, please, please, please give it a try. It is YA fantasy, so I don't know if you guys mind that, but if you like YA, please, please. It is just so beautifully written, and the friendship, the found family, and the romance in here is just so unparalleled. I have never ever felt this way towards a group of people more than I have with this book, other than Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I love those characters. No matter how many times I've cried during this reread or my heart has been shattered, I am so glad that I picked these up again after years. If you do not like them, please do not tell me. I think these are the only books in my life that I'm like, I just don't want to hear if you don't like them, because it would hurt my feelings for the characters, and they're not real. The characters are not real. That is how unhealthy I am about this series. I'm probably gonna do reading vlogs for the rest of the Shadow Hunting universe, or Shadow Hunter, whatever it's called. So if you're interested, make sure you stick around, because I will be doing reading vlogs for those. And hopefully they don't hurt my feelings as much as this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't so chaotic or like depressing to watch. Please, please, please give this series a try if you have not read it before, and if you have read it, please comment down below. I said that I didn't want to hear your thoughts if you didn't like the series, but I was just joking. Like, obviously everyone has their own opinions, so whatever your opinions are on the series, let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.